Hello, Barcelona family. Like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on Barcelona. Barcelona is preparing for a masterstroke in the transfer market and is aiming high. Moises Caicedo, the Ecuadorian midfielder and one of Chelsea's standout players in the Premier League, has fully entered the orbit of the Catalan club. With his power, tactical intelligence, physical prowess, and remarkable maturity for his age, Caicedo presents himself as an ideal option to strengthen the midfield, especially given the increasing possibility that one of the team's current pillars may leave this summer. From the club's offices and under the direction of Joan Laporta, work has begun discreetly but determinedly on an operation that could mark the European market and give Barcelona a dominant figure in one of the most important areas of the field. Joan Laporta, the president of FC Barcelona, has always had a clear vision for the club. Under his leadership, Barcelona has seen highs and lows, but his ability to attract talent and build competitive teams is undeniable. With Caicedo, Laporta sees an opportunity to strengthen not only the current team but also to prepare for the future. His leadership and determination are major assets in convincing players to join the Catalan project. It is no coincidence that the name Moises Caicedo has gained strength in recent days. The player himself has shown clear signs that he is not entirely convinced by his current situation at Chelsea. Despite his central role, the uncertainty of the London project, the lack of results, and constant pressure have taken their toll. And when a club like Barcelona, with a glorious history, a recognizable style, and the opportunity to be part of a renewed and ambitious project under the direction of Hansi Flick, appears, it is hard to look elsewhere. The Blaugrana jersey carries weight, history, and a magnetism that few clubs can match. From England, they know this, which is why alarms are already ringing at Stamford Bridge. Hansi Flick, the coach of FC Barcelona, has given his approval to the operation. The German knows perfectly well what profile he needs for his game model to work, and he has found in the Ecuadorian the qualities he is looking for: defensive commitment, tactical reading, inexhaustible energy, and a winning mentality. Caicedo perfectly fits the system that Flick wants to implement. There is no doubt. And if the coach approves, if the sports management makes it a priority, and if the player is ready to take the step, then it is time to act. From an economic point of view, the operation is feasible. It will all depend on the realization of a significant sale that is on the table and could inject at least €60 million into the club. This capital would open the door to immediate investment, and this is where Caicedo's name appears as an absolute priority. It is not just a reaction to a possible departure, but a strategic bet. Caicedo is not just the present. He is the future. He is only 22 years old but has a personality and maturity that make him seem like a veteran. His meteoric rise in the Premier League and what seduces the most in the corridors of the Catalan club is his ability to adapt to different roles in midfield. He can recover, build, set the pace, and even penetrate the opponent's box with decision. In Ecuador, the possible transfer of Caicedo to the Catalan club has sparked true euphoria. The media highlights that this would be the most important step in the midfielder's career and a historic claim for Ecuadorian football. It would undoubtedly be news that transcends sport. The possibility of seeing an Ecuadorian player become a key figure in Barcelona's midfield is something that would fill an entire nation with pride and would undoubtedly add a very powerful emotional and symbolic component to the operation. From England, however, some portals are trying to divert attention, insinuating that other clubs are also interested in Caicedo. Names from English football that, although they have economic power, cannot offer the history, style, or transcendence that comes with being part of a project like Barcelona's. And this is where the Catalan club makes the difference. It is not just about money, it is about identity, belonging, and legacy. And Caicedo knows this, he feels it. This is why it is not surprising that his entourage views the possibility of landing in the Catalan city favorably. The current sporting context of Barcelona demands intelligent and bold moves. There is a clear intention to rejuvenate the team, give it muscle, ambition, and commitment to an ambitious project where youth and talent combine with experience and tradition. In this sense, Moises Caicedo represents this perfect balance. He has the character of someone who has grown up in tough environments, the technique demanded by modern football, and the tactical disposition that every coach dreams of. He is not just another midfielder. He is a versatile piece who can act as an anchor, an interior player, or even as a box-to-box if the game requires it. His ability to read spaces, anticipate the opponent, and connect with the attackers is of a superlative level. Barcelona's interest has also put other clubs that have been following Caicedo for a long time on edge, particularly some Premier League giants who thought they had an advantage due to economic reasons. But as the Catalan club has already demonstrated, when it gets seriously to work and there is a willingness on both sides, no petrodollars can stand in the way. The strength of the badge, the sports project, the style of play, and the history weigh much more than any inflated salary or empty promise. And in this case, everything indicates that Caicedo prioritizes a qualitative leap and being part of a team with real title ambitions rather than soulless experiences. In recent hours, British portals like The Guardian and Sky Sports have hinted that Chelsea has already begun to prepare a containment strategy to avoid losing the Ecuadorian. However, they know that the situation does not depend solely on them. If Caicedo has made a firm decision and Barcelona manages to structure an adequate offer with the expected funds after a possible sale, then it will only be a matter of time. Media pressure, the opinion of the player's entourage, and the allure of the Blaugrana project are taking effect. Barcelona supporters, for their part, have already begun to debate the possible arrival of the Ecuadorian. On social media, messages of enthusiasm, analyses of his performances in the Premier League, and comparisons with historic midfielders who have marked the club abound. There is a consensus that he is a footballer with the character and technical level necessary to lead the new phase that is being prepared in the Catalan city. The excitement is growing because there are feelings that this is not just a passing rumor, it is something serious, and if it materializes, it will be one of the bombshells of the summer. Meanwhile, in Ecuador, the excitement is palpable as the country prepares to experience a historic moment. In a country where football is much more than just a sport, but a true passion that unites people, the idea of seeing one of their own, Moises Caicedo, join the ranks of a European giant like FC Barcelona is simply electrifying. Ecuador, which is not accustomed to having continuous representation in major European clubs, could well see its best current player don the Blaugrana jersey, a symbol of prestige and excellence. For young Ecuadorian footballers, Caicedo would become a source of inspiration, living proof that dreams can come true with talent, hard work, and determination. For South American football, this transfer would represent recognition of the quality and potential of players from the region. And for all of Ecuador, it would be a new chapter in the history of a nation that lives and breathes football with unmatched passion. FC Barcelona, with its unique playing philosophy and commitment to excellence, could be the perfect setting for Caicedo to showcase all his talent, without restrictions, with freedom, and with a structure to support him. As Barcelona moves steadily towards recruiting Moises Caicedo, reactions in London and Madrid are beginning to be heard. At Stamford Bridge, Chelsea's executives are already admitting, albeit discreetly, that they have lost the initiative in this transfer race. Despite their efforts to convince the player to stay, with speeches full of promises of the future and ambitious projects, they know deep down that these words ring hollow in the face of the reality of a club in search of identity and stability. What is most uncomfortable for the London club is not just the possibility of losing one of its most precious assets, but also the painful reality that the Ecuadorian's destination could well be in the hands of Barcelona. A club that, with less media noise but with a clear vision and strong football identity, offers something that is sorely lacking in London: stability, a well-defined playing philosophy, and true greatness, built on decades of success and tradition. The reaction in Madrid, on the other hand, has not been any more elegant. From certain media close to the Madrid environment, there has been an attempt to downplay Barcelona's interest in Caicedo, selling the idea that the player would only change jerseys to land at the Santiago Bernabéu. But the reality is quite different. While Real Madrid speculates and waits for events to turn in its favor, Barcelona is acting with determination and conviction. The Catalan club has already done what was necessary, convincing the player with a solid sports project, an attractive style of play, and unwavering confidence in his potential. Real Madrid's alleged interest, more media-driven than real, has been highlighted by Barcelona's proactive and decisive attitude. Caicedo and his entourage have understood that if the player were to choose a team to grow, compete, and shine without losing his essence, the path would not go through the Spanish capital, but through the city where football is understood as an art, where great stars become legends, and where players are valued for their talent and contribution to the team. It is curious to see how some in the Madrid press are now trying to position Real Madrid as the victim of an alleged betrayal by Caicedo's entourage. But in reality, what happened is that the player made an intelligent and thoughtful decision, preferring to join a project that breathes football, bets on young talent, and is led by a coach of the caliber of Hansi Flick. A coach who has already shown his confidence in Caicedo's arrival and knows how to get the best out of his players. Barcelona does not need to impose fear or talk about blank checks to attract talent. Its argument is much more powerful. Its badge, its rich and glorious history, its unique way of understanding and playing football. Values that, apparently, weighed much more in the balance than any last-minute opportunistic offer from the Spanish capital. Chelsea, for its part, is beginning to realize that it simply cannot compete with Barcelona's magnetism. Despite its millions, its aggressiveness in the offices, and its ability to conclude rapid and spectacular operations, the London club has failed in the essential: building an environment where a player of Caicedo's stature can flourish and fully develop. They offered him money, yes, but not a true football home, a place where he could feel at home and where his talent would truly be appreciated and cultivated. They gave him playing time, but not a solid and coherent structure, capable of offering him the stability and direction he needs to progress and reach his full potential. And now, as a club that can offer everything appears on the horizon, Chelsea's executives tremble at the idea of losing one of their jewels. Instead of accepting the evidence and recognizing the gaps in their project, some sectors of the English press desperately try to spread the narrative that Barcelona would not have the necessary resources to compete in the transfer market. But this lie no longer holds, as the Catalan club has repeatedly demonstrated that, when it works with vision, intelligence, and conviction, no rival can interfere, no matter how powerful and rich. And now, dear Barcelona supporters, we want to know your opinion on this possible recruitment. What do you think about the imminent arrival of Moises Caicedo at FC Barcelona? Do you think the young Ecuadorian midfielder is the ideal reinforcement to lead Barcelona's midfield in the coming years, bringing with him his power, tactical intelligence, and impressive maturity for his age? Do you think this is an opportunity not to be missed, a masterstroke that could mark the beginning of a new era of success and glory for our beloved club? Are you ready to see the Ecuadorian dressed in the Blaugrana colors, leaving his mark in every corner of the field and writing his name in the history of FC Barcelona alongside the club's greatest legends? Give us your opinion, share your dreams and hopes, and get ready, because if everything aligns as planned, the move is about to happen, and it will be big, very big. Leave us your comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on all things Barcelona. And as always, Visca el Barça!